Plato stated, "Nothing in the affairs of men is worthy of great anxiety." For people that have been diagnosed with panic or anxiety disorders, that and all other logic on that matter go out the window. Their panic can overtake everything else. It can be devastating to all aspects of daily life. Panic attacks make the victim feel like they are having a heart attack. They are gripped by paralyzing fear of impending doom. Blood pressure rises, hyperventilation occurs, vision darkens, and breathing becomes difficult. Just remembering a past panic attack can trigger another one. Some people start avoiding social situations or places that they've gone that have triggered associations of panic. For many people, anxiety debilitates them to the point of not even being able to walk out of their front door. Management of this very real disorder is essential to the well-being of those who suffer from it. Most people suffer from normal stress. Worries are just a part of everyday life. Worries about family, school, work, anything. But most people are able to manage this in healthy ways. Normal stress is not to be confused with anxiety, which is defined by the Merriam-Webster Dictionary as a painful or apprehensive uneasiness of mind, usually over an impending or anticipated ill. The Anxiety and Depression Association of America stated that anxiety disorders are the most common mental illness in the United States. It affects over 40 million adults, and only 1/3 of those are actually being treated for this disorder. Like I said earlier, if not treated, it can become debilitating, causing people to hide, to avoid situations that could be good for them. Some of them can't leave their house, they can't go to work. I was diagnosed with panic disorder over 10 years ago. My first panic attack was on the interstate. I didn't know what had happened. It came on absolutely suddenly. I just knew something was very wrong. I felt like I was dying. I felt like I was having a heart attack. It happened in an instant, and I was completely unprepared for it. I didn't have a shoulder to pull over on at the time, and it just made my anxiety worse. I didn't understand why I had it. I drove that same route every day, twice a day, 5 days a week, and had been for 5 years. After that one panic attack, the very thought of having another one would send me into bouts of panic. It got so bad that within a couple of years, I couldn't even get behind the wheel of my car without having an attack. I was the only person in my family with a driver's license, so it affected everybody, and it was completely disabling. Since then, I've struggled to overcome my anxiety. Sometimes I go months without having an attack. Sometimes I have several within a week's time. I try medication and therapy for mine, which seems to work pretty well. Other people seek the support of groups of other people that are suffering from the same thing they are. If it's not treated, it can become phobias. Your fear becomes a phobia, which is what happened to me. My fear of driving turned into phobias of driving over bridges, driving over overpasses, or on hills or highways of any kind. I am unable to go visit family out of town, and it's gotten to the point that I've started hypnotherapy to try to teach my subconscious to do what my conscious cannot. Anxiety is a very real disorder, and people who suffer from this should seek attention immediately to keep it from progressing into something that is bigger than they can handle. My own personal experiences with anxiety and the research I've done on the subject have convinced me that as far as getting help, the sooner is definitely better. Fear builds on fear, and unless you can alleviate those negative feelings, they will progressively get worse. I would like to end on a quote by cartoonist Tom Wilson, which I think is very relevant to the subject. "I try not to worry about the future, so I take each day one anxiety attack at a time." Thank you. Did you turn it off?